When you've got billions in the bank, buying a Lamborghini is basically like picking up milk at the grocery store. For billionaires, money doesn't just open doors, it removes all the walls. While most of us stress over rent or the price of coffee, the ultra-rich are out here buying entire islands, commissioning custom submarines, and casually bidding $100 million on a painting just because it looks nice above the fireplace. In this video, we're diving into the most outrageous, jaw-dropping, borderline ridiculous ways billionaires spend their money. And we're not talking about yachts and jets, you already know that game. We're talking about diamond-encrusted shoes, personal skyscrapers, and gold-plated toilet paper. Okay, maybe not that last one, but probably. Let's take a look at how the top 0.00001% really live. First up, elite private clubs and resorts. Because when you're a billionaire, even your hangout spots have velvet ropes and background checks. Let's start with the Yellowstone Club in Montana. This isn't your typical ski lodge. It's a 15.2 thousand acre private resort tucked away in the Rocky Mountains, complete with its own ski slopes, golf course, and zero paparazzi. Membership isn't just pricey, it's invite only, and the guest list reads like a Forbes cover shoot. Bill Gates, Justin Timberlake, and Tom Brady are known members, and once you're in, you've got access to luxury homes, gourmet dining, and trails where you won't run into crowds, just other billionaires. Then there's Annabelle's in London. This is the kind of club where royalty and rock stars sip cocktails under crystal chandeliers. Founded in the 60s, Annabelle's has reinvented itself into a surreal, art-filled playground for the ultra-rich. Think Gucci-designed interiors, a bathroom with a peacock ceiling, and walls that sparkle. Literally. It's members only, of course, and the waiting list is longer than most careers. Next up, private jets. In the billionaire world, there are private jets, and there are private jets, and this Saudi billionaire very clearly has the latter. Prince Al-Wahid bin Talal of Saudi Arabia has made sure no one ever confused his with the average Gulfstream. His aircraft of choice, a Boeing 747. Yup, the same double-decker used by commercial airlines, except his version isn't packed with crying babies and seatbelt signs. It's decked out in gold, marble, and enough opulence to make Versailles look modest. Nicknamed the Flying Palace, this jet was reportedly customized to include a throne room, a concert hall, and even a garage to bring his Rolls-Royce along for the ride. He also planned for a prayer room with electronic mats that rotate automatically toward Mecca mid-flight, because why not? Third on the list, and we're looking at secretive medical treatments. Because for billionaires, staying alive longer isn't just a goal, it's a project. The super rich aren't exactly lining up at your local clinic for a flu shot. Instead, they're flying to discreet, high-end medical centers in places like Switzerland and California, where anti-aging isn't science fiction, it's the business model. These clinics offer everything from regenerative cell therapy to stem cell infusions, tailored detox programs, and personalized genetic analysis. And the price tag? Millions per year. But when time is your most valuable asset, the cost becomes almost irrelevant. Billionaires have been known to take it a step further, privately funding entire research labs focused on cracking the code of aging. We're talking deep dives into cellular repair, age reversal therapies, and even brain preservation. People like Jeff Bezos and Peter Thiel have invested in longevity startups that sound more like sci-fi than science. Companies trying to reprogram DNA or transfer consciousness into new bodies. Yeah, really. Fourth on the list, and it's billionaires' spending habits on jewelry. You'd think that your average billionaire would spend millions and flaunt it on every occasion, but this next billionaire hardly ever shows off his collection. Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah Al Thani of Qatar isn't just a collector, he's practically royalty in the world of high jewelry. Over the years, he spent more than $500 million buying one of the most jaw-dropping private jewelry collections on Earth. And this isn't about flashy bling or red carpet accessories. His taste leans into historical, rare, and museum-worthy. Over the years, Sheikh Hamad has scooped up everything from Mughal-era emeralds to Cartier masterpieces, Faberge pieces, and centuries-old Indian jewels that once adorned empires. His collection spans cultures, dynasties and continents. And it's so important that even the Victoria and Albert Museum in London partnered with him just to show it off in a now famous exhibition called the Al Thani Collection. In short, it's not just about owning beautiful things, it's about curating history. What makes this even more fascinating is that Sheikh Hamad tends to fly under the radar. He doesn't flaunt his pieces at galas or auctions, he loans them out to institutions, quietly building a legacy through preservation and global display. For him, jewelry isn't just art, it's cultural storytelling. Fifth on the list, and we're looking at random billionaire spending habits. Those purchases that you buy thinking they're a great idea, with the only difference, these are billionaire purchases, so on a slightly different scale. Take Louis Bacon, for example. The fashion mogul bought the entire ghost town of Tincup, Colorado for $250 million, not to turn it into a resort or even a cash cow, but to preserve its rustic charm. No major development, just wooden cabins, mountain air, and old-school frontier vibes. Because when you've got billions, nostalgia gets expensive. Then there's Jay-Z, who dropped $3 million on a Hublot Big Bang watch covered in 1,282 diamonds. It's less about telling time and more about making sure people know your wrist is worth more than most houses. And finally, Steve Cohen, a hedge fund heavyweight, spent $8 million on one of the weirdest pieces of art money can buy, a giant shark suspended on formaldehyde. It's called the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living. Try saying that at a dinner party with a straight face. Sixth on the list, and it's a billionaire's favorite, yachting. They say the two happiest days in a boat owner's life are the day they buy it and the day they sell it. And for this next billionaire, that can't be true. Take New Zealand billionaire Graham Hart. He built Ulysses, a 116-meter, 381-foot explorer-style super yacht built by Kleven in Norway. It has a helipad, a massive swimming pool, a beauty salon, a gym, and room for 30 guests across 15 cabins. Oh, and there's also a dedicated garage for a fleet of toys, jet skis, tenders, and even off-road vehicles. But Hart didn't stop there. He also owned another super yacht called Andromeda, originally named Ulysses before he sold it. Andromeda is slightly shorter, but it's still a beast. 107 meters, 351 feet of steel and indulgence. Both yachts are in the go anywhere category, designed for long-range cruising in any condition. But he decided he didn't want either. Today, he has a 103-meter mega yacht and an 80-meter, 262-foot yacht support vessel which was built in 2022 by Damien Yachting and designed by Azure Yacht Design. This vessel was converted from an offshore utility shop into a luxury support yacht. It's not your usual yacht, it's the kind of mothership you send behind a super yacht. U-81 includes a helipad, a full basketball court on the aft deck, tenders, jet skis, and even arcade games and gym gear. Seventh on the list, and what do you do when you're a billionaire and you want to experiment with wellness and luxury? Well, you spend $300 million on an island and a further $1 billion on turning the island into a living lab for clean energy, organic farming, ecotourism, and cutting-edge infrastructure. Basically, a high-tech utopia in the middle of the Pacific. Since taking over, he's upgraded water systems, revamped the power grid, launched hydroponic farms, and restored historic buildings in the city. In 2012, Larry Ellison, co-founder of Oracle and one of the richest men on the planet, bought 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai. The price? A cool $300 million. Not for a house on the island, mind you, for the actual island. Lanai isn't some barren rock either. It's the 6th largest Hawaiian island, with lush landscapes, cliffs, beaches, and a couple of small towns. When Ellison took over, he didn't just sit back and chill, he went full visionary mode. He poured hundreds of millions into upgrading the infrastructure, building luxury resorts, and turning the island into what some call a billionaire's experiment in sustainable living. There are now organic farms, solar-powered desalination systems, and a wellness resort that looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. He's even used the island as a testbed for tech innovation, kind of like a tropical Silicon Valley, but with better sunsets. 8th on the list, and we're looking at the man who spent $2 billion building his own home. Welcome to Antilia, the home of Mukesh Ambani, Asia's richest man, and quite possibly the most extravagant private residence on Earth. Perched on Altamount Road in Mumbai, this 27-story skyscraper mansion didn't just break records, it shattered them. Estimated to cost over $2 billion, it's not just a home, it's a vertical palace. Antilia isn't about subtle luxury, it's about going all in. We're talking 3 helipads, a 50-seat private movie theater, a snow room that literally creates artificial snow, hanging gardens, multiple swimming pools, a full-scale spa, a ballroom with crystal chandeliers, and parking for over 160 cars. Oh, and it's earthquake resilient just in case. The building is staffed by a crew of around 600 people, keeping everything running like clockwork. Every floor has a different design theme, and no 2 rooms look alike. This isn't architecture, it's ambition turned into concrete, glass, and gold. Staying in property, but this time headed to the US, we're looking at Ken Griffin, the billionaire hedge fund manager. In 2019, he made headlines by buying a Manhattan penthouse for $238 million, the most expensive home ever sold in the US at the time. The penthouse at 220 Central Park South sits at the very top of one of Manhattan's most exclusive towers, perched directly across from Central Park, with uninterrupted views stretching from Midtown to the Upper West Side. The penthouse itself spans about 24,000 square feet. Yeah, that's not a typo, and it takes up 4 full floors. It's got everything you'd expect: multiple bedrooms, oversized living rooms, soaring ceilings, and finishes so polished they'd probably require a small army of artisans. But the real appeal is privacy and prestige. What's most amazing is that Ken didn't stop there. The next day, he spent $300 million on just 2 paintings, one by Jackson Pollock and one by Willem de Kooning, and over the next 3 months, a further $500 million on artwork, including Paul Cézanne's curtain jug and fruit bowl that reportedly cost Griffin over $60 million, and Jasper John's false start that he bought from David Geffen for around $80 million. Last on the list, and it's hobbies. Let's just say billionaire hobbies hit a little differently. While most people collect sneakers or play weekend golf, the ultra-wealthy are busy trying to leave the planet. Literally. Take Jeff Bezos, who sinks over $1 billion a year into Blue Origin, his private space company. It's not just about launching rockets, it's about shaping the future of human life beyond Earth. Weekend hobby? Try building reusable spacecraft in your spare time. Then there's Elon Musk, who didn't just write checks, he went all in, personally funding huge chunks of SpaceX. His mission? Colonizing Mars. And we're not just talking sci-fi here. SpaceX has already made spaceflight history with reusable rockets and contracts with NASA. Billions of dollars, years of risk, and countless engineering hurdles just to maybe make humans a multi-planet species. But that's not just space. These guys dabble in AI, neural implants, immortality research, basically anything that sounds like it came out of a sci-fi novel. The goal isn't just entertainment, it's legacy, it's control, it's rewriting the rules of what's possible. For billionaires, hobbies don't just pass the time, they try to reshape time itself. When money is no longer an object, curiosity becomes the most expensive habit of all.